Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's 1:19 in the morning, West Coast time, Sunday, the 25th of February, 2024. My God, this month is flying fast, isn't it? At least in my book, anyway. Okay, shout out to the usual artist in recovery, Bo of the fifth column, and everybody else. Came across an article on YouTube that kind of pissed me off, but then I'm surprised it's going to be up to each school and professor not to punish students for using electronic means to get through work. But for me, I still consider it the laziest damn shit ever because you're using a computer to get through your damn reports instead of you doing it yourself. I'm old school. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. I consider it lazy when the students cannot figure out what grammar is and what they need to do. There's one thing when I took a community college course last semester. I'm still continuing my on-road education here. And 58 years old, I'm still in college, community college. Why not? I'm having fun. But what I can't stand is some of these younger twerps, students out there, who are using electronic means to get through crap that they should have known and learned a long time ago. Unless, of course, their school systems that they've been through have lacked so much that they have to use artificial intelligent means to proofread a damn essay. Give me a break. It's one thing if I have to have another human pair of eyes looking at it and seeing whether or not I've actually made any mistakes concerning about it. But I also have to look at the damn thing myself because if I'm going to be a writer of sorts, I have to proofread my work. I have to understand where the hell it's going. I have to be able to communicate effectively in the paperwork and presenting my case to the professor in the class, what the topic is, the thesis, the supporting structure, and a conclusion in there. And in the supporting section, plenty of footnotes, plenty of accurate and grammatically correct sentences, areas where the footmarks, the footnotes are supposed to be, and also actually have a works cited section at the end of the essay. And I have to make sure that it is functional and correct up to standards that they have when it comes down for grading. Social studies papers up to liberal arts or liberal studies, they call them these days, of what their format is. MLAs, APAs, APLs. The acronyms drive me crazy, but their formats are slightly different because they have different standards. Now, I know there's a website I use all the time. OWL, Purdue University. They got a writing lab in there. The electronics that I need in there is how to get the copyright material on there. Make sure the work cited is correct in it. And then I have to go over the guidelines one more time just to see if I've got everything correct in the damn thing or not. But it also helps if I happen to go to a student center, going into a writing lab, and actually have somebody proofread their work for me. If I'm prideful enough and I think I know better, I do it myself and say, screw it, nobody else is going to do the damn work for me. But I may be making some mistakes that I've faltered on, so I have to ask for help on this. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with using tools available to you. But these days, the professors are using a program called Turnitin. And this checks. This is a very picky program that tears things apart and tries to figure out whether or not you plagiarized or not. Colleges do not, will not tolerate plagiarism. You do that, you foobar. Plain and simple. You are screwed. And the reason why, they have to check to see whether or not the student's information is accurate enough, and whether or not it sounds like it's uh, created or not. I mean, if we're going to be putting in quotations, there is a certain format, there's a certain way of putting the quotations in there, uh, and we have to make that accurate. If we are doing it precisely from the quotes and we're putting it into the essay to support our thesis, put it into the body. But if we're just saying it indirectly, we have to make sure we're saying it in a way to say, I'm saying this indirectly here. I remember the quote from this particular passage over here, Professor, and I'm putting this into my, but I'm not putting a bookmark into it. But I just want to give you a little bit of my own interpretation of it. And they'll allow it to a point. But once you start crossing the point where you're going to be quoting exactly, you have to put that in there. You have to bookmark the sucker. There is no other way around it. You have to know this. And unfortunately, I've got other students relying heavily on the artificial intelligence. And this is a way for them to get past essays. Now, the story I looked at was from a television. I may have to find the article and post it in my notes on this one here. Let me check my history. Okay, so it was just was it an hour ago or two? I was checking this out, and it was actually yesterday. Okay, this came out a few days ago in the Fox 5 Atlanta news site. It was called Grammerly use lands college kid on probation. Probation. University of North Georgia student. She got her ass kicked and kicked out of college because of the usage of the program. Now, if the professor at the time had encouraged electronic usage to proofread, they will say that. The college course I took last semester, Critical Thinking and Literature, she kept noticing that the public education system, or wherever the hell they're coming from, didn't get them up to speed regarding college work, as in writing an essay effectively. Instead of checking out more and more things concerning about thinking critically in literature and then tearing things apart, we're focusing more on the mechanics of how to write a decent essay. It should have been covered by the pre-English courses if the colleges or universities still have it. In the university, you're supposed to know before you get in there. I heard that, and I haven't experienced it just yet, but there are certain higher levels of universities out there. Go over resumes to see whether or not this student is going to be academically suited for their facility, for their college curriculum to be utilized, and educate this poor student into a higher form of babble, like I've seen other people try to do, and come up like blithering idiots. But I am not knocking against college. I'm not. I'm a community college. I'm lower level. I don't care. I'm having too much fun in it. Not many of us can actually get in there. There are certain ways of getting into a community college, at least out here anyway. You're on food stamps. You're on a fixed income. And I'm not talking about working either. Maybe a couple other factors. And here in the state of California, just the two criteria I've got right now, I'm actually able to utilize. So I've been doing the grants, and I realized that I'm going to have to pay this back one way or another by showing off or demonstrating or maybe picking out a certain topic out there that might give back to the community that I'm getting from them to continue education. I said before a long time ago in my other videos, my older videos, in the WIN files in there, that I'd taken college a long time ago. I screwed up 2 years after high school. I supported myself with, well, besides my mother trying to support me like crazy, but then again, it was mostly me working my ass off in part-time jobs to keep the funding going on, get me through the doors, get me into a classroom, to get the supplies necessary. Used, but I don't care if the books were used or not, it was still material that we needed for the classes. And that's what we did, without the damn computers. So we had to use this all the time. We had to perfect our technique. My technique sucked coming out of high school. I didn't take the college courses necessary that I thought would have been better for me to do this. I should have. I should have been working more and more on my English skills back then, but I didn't. And they put me through remedial. They actually had remedial in college. I had a high school graduate. I had a certificate. I showed it to them. Didn't matter. My skills were not up to par. So I did a year of remedial before I got into the second year of trying to get into English courses that I wanted to get. And I took them. I even taken a summer school class just to get myself up to speed. And I had fun during those days. Well, a lot of work though. But I should have taken it more seriously. A lot of things I should have done. I mean, I had a lot of regrets, but as an adult, in my late 40s, early 50s, I got into Antelope Valley Community College right after my mother's death, and I started to explore. I took their computer testing. My math skills needed work. Pre-algebra definitely needed. I kept delaying that until they lost the classes altogether. So I'm thinking to myself, now what do I do? But I focused more on the other essay writing. And the computer found out I still retained the school skills from long ago, so it recognized all the correct answers I made on there. I barely passed it, but I did. But what got to me is not knowing the formats that they were using in college. It changed a great deal in 30 years, and I never realized. So it was catch-up. It was a catch-up process. But we didn't have the artificial intelligence. We had to use this intelligence in here, the squishy gray matter that we call a brain, and all the neurons packed in there that we had to utilize, fill up with more information so we can utilize it more and more. We had to develop the skills necessary to draft a sentence that's actually legible. And I'm not talking about just using cursive language on it, handwriting skills. I'm talking about it whether or not the sentence actually made sense. Tearing the damn thing up section per section. Put it into a larger structure where you have a bunch of sentences in there. Do they make sense, or are they just incomplete, incoherent, and completely blithering idiot sentences where you could not understand what they were talking about? Is the material being presented intelligent enough where you can actually follow the damn thing? Now, I had taken liberties with a few of my my teachers and instructors. In college, I found out a few professors actually did like a good story. I'm like, my face lit up on that one. Okay, I understand where they're coming from. I shoot them an idea or two, tell them and ask them about structure. What are they looking for? If they give me carte blanche, they're asking for it. And a few of them actually did give me carte blanche, and I'm like, the last class I actually had was carte blanche. Actually, the last two classes I had were carte blanche. So I had to make sure that my information was accurate and documented, structurally sound, where people could read it and say, oh, okay, I understand that. Of course, we did have different projects of whatever we could work with. In my English class, we did PowerPoints like crazy. Well, we also generated other essays as well. But I had a few students using electronics. The instructor originally had offered us to do electronic verifications, and she wouldn't hold it against us. I held it against me. I had my standards. If I could not do this, why the hell am I going to be depending upon a machine to do the damn shit if I can't do the damn thing myself? I'm here. I'm learning. I'm trying to present it in a way that I can actually communicate it effectively here. And if I have to have it looked at over and over again by another human eye, so be it. But I am not trusting a damn machine on this shit. I am the machine. I have to be the one doing it. I have to take responsibility for it. I'm not letting some other machine take the damn scapegoat. Screw that noise. If I'm going to screw it up, I want to know. Where did I go wrong? Where did I see it? Where did I did not see it? How come this wasn't laid out properly? How come the sentence did not make sense? How come the thesis didn't match up with what the material I'm presenting jive? Why was this graded a fail? And I hadn't failed yet. At least not for a long while. When I got into class, in the college program, after going through the pre-testing, yeah, I did. I got a D out of the exam class. And I wanted to get that redone. I'm saying, no, I'm not having this damn thing hanging over my damn neck. I want to get this class done and over with. But apparently during those days, they didn't, I didn't give myself the opportunity. I didn't go back to fix the damn mistake. I was just going forward with all the other prerequisites. You take your liberal arts, you take your history, you screw the geography, screw the math. I took the sciences. I took political science. I took more history classes. Trying to work on the essays more and more cohesive information. But what I said before, when I found out some of the professors like a little bit of a storytelling, then I kept thinking to myself at the time, I'm going to do the journey on them. I'm going to take them on a journey. Write them a story. Under their nose, but give them the information necessary. And one particular professor, he enjoyed it. I'm grateful he did. Everybody else was scratching their head on me. I'm like, what do you want me to regurgitation by rote on this damn thing? That we actually understand it, Master? Well, that our robotic brains can actually figure the shit out and give it the same information to you as you programmed it into it? What am I, a punch card? Screw that noise. There's got to be creativity. There's got to be something else that they're not looking for. That some schmuck like me goes in there and be a smart ass and just put it into a format that they never expected. But understand this. I probably could get away with most of it in a community college. But in the university level, I don't know. Probably not. Because they probably do want the punch cards. They probably do want the punch card looking at it, I think. Or maybe they do want creativity. And if they want creativity, I need to stretch mine. I need to be creative. I need to work on stuff. I haven't done it in a hell of a long while. That's why I like doing the writing assignments, because it stretches my brain. It stretches the material that I have. But I don't rely it on programs like Grammarly or anything else like that. Not unless I have to. And only certain sections of the damn thing. But if it's just for the entire essay, I'm going to be depending upon AI to write it for me. No. No. I'm not doing that crap. Are you kidding me? I got to do it my way. I'm doing it my way. You don't like it? I don't care. I'm doing it my way. I'm not going to let some damn machine do the shit for me. Screw that noise. I'm a human being. I take pride. Pride, ego. I got to know that I know what the hell I'm doing and what I'm saying here and the material I've got researched. I got to cherry pick the damn thing, tear the thing apart, put it in quotations, shove it in there. Unless, of course, I'm going to be rewriting and redrafting it and then do some other quotations. I got to know what the hell I'm doing. I got to know what the hell I'm writing. That's my job. That's my project. It's not like I'm being rushed into the damn thing. I look at it as an artist. I'm looking at, with critical thinking, I'm looking at it as a work of art in literature. It has to sing. It has to be presentable. It has to have material out there to educate. And they also have to have personal observations on how I think and feel about the damn topic in the first place. How I'm looking at it. And usually, when I start off, it's usually starting off with a smart ass or smart alecky title, and then work my way downwards. Of course, it pisses off a few professors, but you know. I'm not there to be cookie cutter. I'm there to be a student. I'm there to learn, but I'm also learning and growing and expanding. And I got to show them that I know what they're talking about, but then they got to understand what the hell I'm talking about. Now, my handwriting sucks. Type everything else I could. Or, if I have to use electronic means, I'll make a recording. I'll get to a app on my phone, record what I need to say. But most of the time, I do the typing. I'm slower these days because I haven't had that much flexibility these days. A lot earlier on in my life, yeah, I'd be speed demon on the damn keyboards. But these days, I gotta sometimes peck and poke. Or if I'm lucky enough, I'm just looking at the screen and just typing, and my fingers automatically know where to go on a keyboard. Of course, I have to look at the damn thing every once in a while. And I get myself set back up, and then, okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm getting older. I'm getting slower. I'm getting problems with my eye. I got a damn thing hanging in my left eye, a damn mole. It's giving me vision issues. Well, for the most part, clean my glasses. I can actually see the damn computer screen. Broaden it back, magnify it a bit so I can actually see the damn thing, so I know what the hell I'm working with. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to allow artificial intelligence to tell me how to write the fucker. You going to tell this asshole how to write? Hey, algorithm, bite me.